How's everybody doing today? So today was I learned something kind of cool today. I didn't really learn something new, but it's a good lesson for to spread. So I'm gonna spread it to you guys. The lesson I learned today was that an opportunity isn't always what it seems, right? So a lot of people and a lot of inspirational speakers and motivational talkers and successful people say take advantage of every opportunity and sought out every opportunity possible. And I used to believe that, but I also have learned that your time is just as precious as theirs. So it doesn't necessarily come down to it doesn't necessarily come down to sorting out every single possible opportunity out there to do this, that, or the other, but what it comes down to is honestly quite the opposite. Deliberately, intentionally choosing to take on a certain opportunity, whatever it is. And how I came across this thought today it's not really entirely applicable, but what had happened was I was at the beach, right? And today I thought to myself, like, today's gonna be an awesome day for the beach, just because the weather looked nice, just everything looked good. So I figured, I finished most of my main tasks for the day, like the gym. Did a decent amount of studying and I talked to my coaches on the East Coast a little bit. So that was the beginning of my day, and then I was gonna go to the beach and read one of my favorite books right now, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Awesome book. If you're trying to learn how to deal with people, if you're trying to learn how to become a conversationalist, very impressive book on that, in that realm. But get to the beach, I laid down and I had just eaten my lunch for the day, and I laid down. I pulled my book out, started reading, and I fall asleep. I passed out. Fell asleep, and then what woke me though wasn't really the most beautiful day. It was the rain. Rain woke me up on the beach, and that's one of the most unsatisfying things that can happen. You get woken or you get interrupted on the beach while you're laying there by the rain, right? And I wasn't gonna leave, but I looked up and I saw, okay, winds are pulling a lot of these clouds and these storm clouds this way, so I'm just gonna bounce. I'm gonna leave the beach. But something that I reflected on in that moment, in that instance, was, maybe some opportunities just aren't entirely worth seeking out, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. It just means that they're not worth your time. I'm not saying that the beach wasn't worth my time or anything like that today, but I try to find value and I try to find a lesson in everything that happens throughout the day. So that being said, I learned that sometimes not every opportunity is worth going after. If it's not in line with your goals, and if it's not in line with what you have planned in life, and if it's not in line with where you're headed, where you want to be going, then maybe it's just not part of the process, So maybe it says I'm going to go back to my wonderful barracks room, and I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to get reading in there and do some, partake in some association. So I just wanted to release that out to you guys, maybe to find some value in it. I know I did. So thank you. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.